All right. Well, what did I have yesterday? Well, yesterday was Wing Sunday. Of course, chicken wing Sunday. And the wife and the youngest went out to shop, I guess. And my middle daughter went with one of her friends. And my oldest is studying her master's somewhere over there in one of the other states. And Daddy had the whole house in silence to himself. It was wonderful. And then I was looking up something, and I can't remember how it came about, but oh yeah, chicken wings, precisely. I made a video, and I'll link that to my other channel. Was so emotional yesterday. I'll put the clip in here, but I saw my face 45 days before I started keto, and I was on a roll, man, doing everything you're supposed to, right? You wake up and you eat a, liquado with your banana, your oats, your woutli, which they call amaranto, and chocolate, and a little bit of cinnamon, and some vanilla, and of course milk, right? A cup of milk with that banana because you need your phosphorus. You need that start to the day so that you have energy. And then a couple hours after that, I ate my apple like a good little soldier. And then I had dinner, and I made sure I reduced the quantities. I mean, I used to eat an awful lot more, and made sure I just had a little serving of rice, a little serving of vegetables, a little serving of meat. And, no more than a couple of tortillas. And then, of course, because you're later in the day and you need your phosphorus, you have to have your little banana, right? So, and then you, for Sana, then you'll eat something like sweetbread, and you'll, Oh, and I forgot to tell you that I had cut out Coca-Cola. Yes. Enjoy a Coke and a diabetes type 2. And, no smiles there. A Coke and a frown, actually. But, I'm not going there. But, and then you'd eat something sweet and nasty for your little Sana. They do here in Mexico. So I would eat about 5 times a day because I was eating less and doing more. And I would walk in the morning, and darn it all. And I got stuck at 112 kilos. Stuck. That's that face. That face is 112 kilos. And insane. And it looked the same, puffiness, at 109 kilos. And then shortly after keto, within 2 kilos, 5 pounds, it all went away. All that puffiness, all that inflammation. And it's been smooth sailing ever since. I mean, I'm down to 94. I'm pushing 93. I don't care. I'm going to do HIIT today. High intensity interval training. I'm going to run stairs. Okay, that's one round. I'm going to try to do 2 more. I don't know. What 55-year-old do you know that, walks over to a group of stairs 20 feet high, tears up the stairs, and then back down, and then tears up again? I'm up to 5 now. I mean, I started this thing. I could only do 3. And I think that was like a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And I'm up to 5. Let's see if I can push it to 6. I mean, if I can't, I can't. And then again, a special treat, but that's coming. I'll be on my 3rd cycle of what I'm trying to do here. And if it works, I'll go ahead and publish it, and we'll see. So, yeah, I had my wings. I had 10 of them, ultimately. 10 whole wings. That would be 10 drumettes, 10 flats, and 10 tips. I love the tips because they crunch, and they're so delicious. And their little fat thing between the little 2 things, and there's a little chunk of meat, and there's some cartilage and some delicious stuff in there. And of course, I dipped that into a cup of Frank's hot sauce mounted with 5 tablespoons of butter. So I got some good amount of fat there. Had a couple of chunks of chicharron, the cracklings. Of course, made authentically in lard and not seasoned, other than salt. But not the vegetable oils and all the omega-6s and all that nasty stuff that makes you look like this. Anyway, And then to kind of wash it down, I had a little coffee left over. I'm drinking mine right now. I found that if you add turmeric, ginger, and then if you add cinnamon and some cocoa powder, it, like, the turmeric's still there, but it's not as peppery, and it comes back to almost like the coffee flavor. Oh my God. Oh, that's just delicious. And then I have my other about 350 or so milliliters sitting in my insulated. Because I drink my coffee, do my HIIT, and then I come back and drink more coffee. And that, I don't know, it's glycogen sparing or does something. I don't know. I burn more fat. That's all I know. And it feels so good. It's so good for the brain. I don't do exercise for the calories. That's nonsense. There's no way you're going to exercise your way to health in the sense of losing body weight. The only way you can do that is control your food. But I'll let you do your own research. You look that up. You figure it out. You follow the science. And, So, yeah, I had my 10 wings, chicharron, with my cheese sauce that I'd made. Again, I'll normally use a stick of butter, 2 blocks of cream cheese, and then I'll either mix the poison, the tub processed cheese food, or the next time I think I'm going to go ahead and try to throw some Gouda or some whole milk Monterey Jack or something in there, which obviously is going to be way better for you. And I found a little trick. I think I can use a processor and process the cream cheese with ground, real cheese. And it should emulsify and give me kind of the same idea as the processed cheese, right? Without the nastiness, without the plastics, without the horrible chemicals. And I'll try that next time. The only thing is it doesn't have it will have the color, because this is the cool part. Take 2 eggs and beat them, right? And you take the cheese sauce that you've melted now and you pour it into the eggs all the way, just whip it up, and then put it all the way back into the pan and reheat, and the eggs will not cook into like scrambled eggs, and it will become an integral part of that cheese sauce. So now you have this eggy, proteiny, delicious-y, fatty, cheesy, yummy, wow, with butter and everything. Oh, and you're like, all those calories? Yeah. And not a drop of insulin will be excreted, because there's like 0 carbs in that, pretty much. Quite a bit of protein, which is fine. So I'll have a little insulin on that, but I get to look like this. Yeah. So, well, let me cut to the video real quick. I got emotional, and I thought maybe this might help some people if you've seen this far into the video. It's kind of a bonus for you guys, I guess. People who don't. I was thinking of posting it as a separate one. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you want me to. So go ahead and watch the video, and I'll come right back. All right. I thought I'd let you guys know I'm crying tears of joy right now. My God. I just saw myself 45 days before I made a change, before I decided to go keto, before I decided to go carnivore. You've got to make a change. You've got to ignore your government's recommendations. You've got to ignore your doctors and your nutritionists if they're not up to speed. You look at my face right now. I'll smile. Okay? And then you look at that fat monster that I was 45 days before I got on this diet. That was 7.5 months ago. And that's the thumbnail. All right? This is horrific. Horrific. They run around telling you to put things in your body and telling you to beware of something you can't even see. And there's 400 million people on this earth, just like that guy that you see in the thumbnail. They don't have a chance. They don't have a chance. And everyone, doctors, nutritionists, whole grains, blah, blah, blah. 50 years it hasn't worked. 70 years we've known it doesn't work. Whoa, man. Tears of happiness. I prefer me now than then. I don't know. You guys decide what you think is better for yourselves. I would give this a shot, though, all right? So I thought maybe you should see a little bit of emotion here, which, gosh, I haven't like been this emotional since I was clouded with insulin and forgetting things and sleeping all day long and not being able to sleep at night and apnea and all the nonsense. I just well, follow my vids. You'll see my walk. Okay, well, that was kind of powerful, wasn't it? Always fun to watch a grown man cry tears of happiness. They say whenever somebody cries, it's in the presence of God. Now that can be tragedy, that can be comedy, because God, he didn't create all this. We did. He just gave us free will, and well, with free will comes some idiots every once in a while, and bad things will happen to even good people. It rains on the wicked and the good. So that's kind of where I was at with this face, and the reason I showed that video is that lo and behold, Dr. Berg, the guy who actually saved my life 7.5 months ago, who I said, what the hell, let me do keto, and then I'm kind of transitioning into carnivore. I'm kind of, I guess, ketovore. I'm back and forth. When I feel like eating it, I will, as long as it's made by God and it's not poison and it won't send my insulin through the roof. I'm good with it. And so he has a video today on like the face, what your face will look like if you're metabolically challenged. And I had all of those things. Weird. I have none of them now. I mean, my eyes, I have these bags. These are actually genetic bags. My grandpa, my dad, I think most of his brothers had these bags, but you'll notice there's actually wrinkles in them. They're not puffy. And that's the cool thing. And my eyes, they're not bloodshot anymore. I mean, you can't see, from this distance, you can't see that the inside of my eyelids are red. And they used to be this beet red. And I would get all these little pimples. I know it sounds like, oh, that's gross, but that's what it was. And I had this horrible oily region. And I just don't have oil anymore. I don't have flaky skin. I don't have red blotches. And I had I'm not sure if you can even see it in the picture, but I did have some rosacea. I had this red, especially these red blotchy cheeks. And I don't have them anymore. It's like, what the hell? And literally that stuff went away in like 2 weeks. It was never, I mean, you look back at my videos, I don't think it was more than a month. All of a sudden, my inflammation just went away, and like almost immediately. It was weird. And like I said, I've just been on this ride for the last 7 months. I mean, it took 2 months to pretty much reverse 2 weeks, to reverse everything. And then I'm sitting here 7 months later going, totally sustainable. How many of you, honest to God, you did your eat 18 times a day and low calories and do more and everything else, and 7 months later, you're still losing weight and on your way? I mean, even the biggest fatty or the loserest fatty or the fattest loser, or whatever the hell that dumb, stupid show was. 8 years later, people's metabolisms are still destroyed over this. I'm surprised they can't sue them, but they really didn't know. They don't know. A lot of people don't know. You don't know. I didn't know. How's that working for you? You've been able to just continue that? I mean, I was able to do my diet for 7 months when I did this 20 years ago. But turned the corner within a year later. Man, I was back to 230. I have the spreadsheet. I should actually compile that line, and I'll show you if I can find it. Oh, it's probably in one of my ancient discs somewhere. And this is 20 years ago. It's probably on a disc somewhere. I was Mr. Excited, but no, man, my weight went all the way back up to, I think I stopped at 240, saying, I give it up, I quit. I went from 276 all the way down to, I think, 195 pounds. Now, that's within 1 or 2 glasses of water, and for me, that's 2 kilos. So it was probably higher because it used to be a spring scale and I would step on it just to where and I'm sure it was maybe a pound or two higher than that. So I think I was around 200. Right now I'm 207. So again, I'm within a glass or two of water of where I was 20 years ago. And, I'm just waiting for some skin to fall off and skin tags to fall off. They say it will, and when that happens, I'll let you know if it really did happen. And if you look at that picture, the light coming in is still the same, but my hair is getting darker. I was getting salt and pepper here, and all of this hair in my face is turning dark again. I don't know. That may be genetic. I haven't a clue. All I'm telling you is since I started this ridiculous, low carb, high fat, intermittent fasting nonsense, all of my biomarkers are getting younger and younger. I mean, there's this pinch test. You take a pinch of skin, count with me, 0, 1,000. Whoops. We'll try this now. If you're 55 or older, try this, 0, 1,000. Okay? So if your skin kind of stays, one of two things, either you're dehydrated or as you get into your 50s and 60s, the skin will stay more than 2 seconds, upwards of 3. There's another little test for circulation. You push on your thing and you count to 2 seconds, 0, 1,000, 1, 1,000, 2. And mine comes right back. I don't even have enough blood pressure, probably. I don't even know why I'm standing. My blood pressure, I can't even feel my pulse anymore half the time. That's how low it's gotten. And here I can do HIIT and all this other stuff. So video's a little longer today, but I have some silence and really excited. Today we have some packaged arrachera. I think it's like a cut or something. It doesn't look like a super fatty cut, but I'm going to mix that with some broccoli and make the old Asian Chinese food, the beef and broccoli. Yeah, I have a way to make that. There's a really cool channel. Her name is Mandy. I want to say Mandy. I think it's Mindy or Mandy. And it's souped up recipes, and she's awesome. She's really, hello everyone. She's just like the coolest, bubbliest. I mean, her fringe, or in American English, her bangs. I mean, just the typical beautiful Asian, gorgeous face, big glasses, making the most delicious foods. You've got to go out and sign up to her website. She's absolutely awesome. So we're going to make that today. I'm going to make rice for them. For me, I normally put it over a bed of omelet or eggs. And I do have some sausage, but I don't know how that'll contrast. I may just leave that alone. But I never mind putting anything over kind of a bed of eggs. And if I'm still hungry after I have some leftover wings. So again, I just eat until I'm, like Dr. Barry says, comfortably stuffed. And I still have to differentiate him with Dr. Phil, because sometimes I sound like Dr. Phil, you are a dirtbag, and I try to imitate these guys, but who knows how authentic it is. So that's that. I'll go ahead and get this edited, get it up, and you guys can watch it. Or, sometimes I just, as I'm cooking, preparing food, I just put these videos up, and that's kind of like what you can do with this. You just kind of get some information, maybe a little bit of fun, watching my ugly mug here. But do notice the difference between that face that I had, and this one today. And again, this one is 17 kilos lighter plus 0 inflammation. I have no pain in my joints. I was afraid that I was having some arthritis between these two fingers, these two joints, and my right knee. It was just giving me such a pants. And it's all gone. All of it. I tell you, when I say I feel like I'm in my 20s again, I am not BSing you. All right? I just feel really good. And the idea is, well, what if you die? Well, I felt good. So who cares? I mean, we're all going to pay taxes and die, right? So on that happy note, I will let you guys go. We'll talk to you guys again either later or tomorrow. And you have a great day. We'll see you again soon. Bye.